Hello everyone, Bro64 from Genby OW, and today we're going to be looking at a Diamond Genji. This is going to be from Xalize OW. And before we begin, I just want to I just want everyone to respect this dude because it takes a lot of courage and a lot of like let's say bravery to actually put one of your VODs up to be reviewed by someone. And to have some mental fortitude to do that, just everyone please respect him. Uh Again, like I said before, he is in mid diamond, so he's like around 3200, and he will be playing Genji in this VOD. So I've already taken a look at it, and we're gonna be pointing out the main mistakes of his gameplay. Okay, so we're just starting out. Now, start out, we roll out from the right, and we're going to take this position right here, and we're going to start shooting. Now, the problem with this is that he actually moves out, like here. Instead, if I can find this again, we would probably want to just... Okay, so if we're going to take a position like this, we would probably just want to stay around this area, instead of moving outwards, right? Because if we move outwards, then we're putting ourselves in the Anna's line of fire, which is right here, and the rest of their team's line of fire. Now, the problem with this is if we do reveal where we are, we're going to get shot at, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. He's going to take 2 shots, and he's going to be forced to bring out deflect. And you do not want to do that, because one rule, the first rule with deflect, is that we want to use deflect to bait out... Excuse my writing with the freaking mouse. But basically, rule 1 is that we want to bait out any powerful cooldowns. Now, for example, this would be like flashbang. Yeah, this would be like flashbang. This would be like storm arrow. Anything that is a cooldown, and we deflect that is value. Now, we were forced to deflect here because we took damage from an Anna, and that is not ideal, nor that is effective, because now we have to wait for deflect to come back. And instead, we would want to take maybe a position, let's move back. We would want to take this position right here, because there is a lot of environmental cover right here. There's a lot of environmental cover right here, and you can only be poked from these guys right here, because they will be shooting over to you, and you can just back up if you need to. So we're just poking right now, we take damage, we have to back out, and now we're going to move with our team. So there's a couple good things about moving with your team, but there's also a lot of drawbacks. When you move with your team, let's take a notice that they have a Junkrat. See right here? They have a Junkrat. So the problem with having you going with your team is that you are prone to taking a lot more spam damage. And that is not ideal. So when you're going with your team, you risk taking way more spam damage because your teammates aren't always going to be there to take the all that spam for you. And that's the advantage of taking this area right here. Taking this corner right here is a lot better because you won't be prone to taking any spam damage, which they have a Sim and a Junkrat. And, you know, we can poke from here. We can move around to this area by using wall climb and double jump. And we can poke from there. We can move back all the way and near point. Now, it's a bit hard because I can't show gameplay, but I'll find some way to do that in the future. And none of these are scripted. Like, another disclaimer right here is none of these are going to be scripted. So if I like stutter a lot, like because I'm not very good at talking like publicly, then just excuse me for that. So again, we are poking from here, and we take spam damage, right? If we were up at this position, we wouldn't be taking all of this spam damage. We wouldn't be taking all of this spam damage right here. And then we can get a better position, and we can shoot all the way from here, or we can get closer and spam from here. And a good thing about that is if they turn on us, we just dash through them, and we gain like 30% of our ult. Again, we're poking, and see, you didn't go in because you saw all these spam. You saw all the spam going in, and you made that conscious decision to not go in. When you do go in, you start poking again, and you kind of just get that sentry turret right there. Now, here we're going to see the first big mistake of the VOD in a couple seconds. Right here. So, we were already spamming a shield, an Orisa shield. The problem with this is this thing, this shield, and not the Roadhog, this shield right here, you cannot kill that, right? It takes a buttload of shurikens to kill, and not just that, that Orisa will just refresh it. So, we want to lose our attention from shooting this, and evidently the Roadhog, because we can't kill him. We're just trying to farm Blade, but even then, you're only at 8% of your Blade right now. So, if you are in a position to spam the Roadhog, then obviously do it. But since this Roadhog is near a shield, he's just going to back up. We do get a couple shots in there, and now he's just going to back up behind the shield, right? Now he can't take any of your spam. Now, right here, we're about to see one of the worst mistakes. That, like, it is a very big core mistake. We see this teleporter, and we immediately dash here. Now, one rule, I'm going to be explaining the rules of Swift Strike, or aka also known as dash. One rule is that we only secure kills with it. Right? We secure kills with dash. And we only secure kills with dash, right? We only use dash when we know we can kill someone. We don't use it when we're unsure that we can kill someone or if we can burst them down. Because if you mess up your damage combos, then you have nothing, right? All you have is deflect, but even then you can't get that far because there's Symmetra who can laser beam you. And even this, like, even if they didn't have the teleporter right here, they wouldn't have any trouble killing you. This Ana right here, they have Nade, and they have Sleep Dart. If they hit you with either of those, you're dead. And the Symmetra, if she starts lasering you, you're basically dead unless you have dash, which you used to get here in the first place. So we only use dash to ensure kills, right? If they are at 50 HP or lower, and we know we can get that kill, that's when we use dash. Right? We only use dash. That's the first rule to Swift Strike. We only use dash if we can get a kill. Another, rule 2, is we use it to reposition ourselves. Right? Because if we were here by using wall climb and... Right? And when I say reposition, I mean like getting the heck away from them when they start shooting you. Not as in like position on high ground because we have wall climb and double jump for that. When we reposition, we want to get away from the enemy so then we can survive. So then we are active. Right? God dang it, that E is horrible. Anyways. And then the last, like, third rule, this is a very, like, this, like, breaks the first 2 rules. We can either use it to bait out cooldowns. So bait any cooldowns, or we can use it on something that we know we can kill. So if there's a Zenyatta, right, there's a Zenyatta, and we know we can kill this guy, we obviously use our dash so we can kill him. So these are the rules of Swift Strike, and we need to understand that. Which, you broke that rule instantly when you dashed in. Because you can't kill these guys, and now you can't reposition yourself. So you've just broken 2 of those rules, and you might have had the mind of Rule 3, where you thought you could kill some people, but first of all, dashing an Ana is no good idea, because they can just nade. And there's a Symmetra, which you can possibly kill, but there's a very low chance you're actually going to do that, because they have turrets and they can laser you. And that's why we're going to die. So, what have we learned? We want to use dash to reposition ourselves, and we want to use dash to secure kills that we know we can kill. Let's skip ahead. So the next push right here, we are going to push from the left side, and this is the basic area you want to start out, right? So we're already at a good start. Now we move in right here, we immediately drop from high ground. So one bad thing about dropping high ground, there's no real good reasons to drop high ground other than to take point, and we're not the ones defending right now. So honestly, we would want to be on this high ground right here instead of being on the ground, on the low ground. So we use deflect so we can deflect that. Again, that was a good use of deflect because we got some value out of it. We deflected the Moira Orb so then we can deal more damage and that it won't deal damage to us. That's a proper way of using deflect. We're going to back out using dash, and that was using rule 2 of dash. Now we're going to be spamming from here. This is not too bad. Now, there's no reason to not start taking some space. So, another core mistake that we make here is that we don't attempt to make any pushes to claim space right here, because you can claim this space, right? You can wall climb up this area, and then you can go around, and we can claim the high ground that is behind this giant wall right here. So we can get on top of the top left. So right now we're kind of just playing a poking war. What we want to do as Genji, instead of playing a poking war, we want to be playing more of a diving role, right? We want to pressure people, right? So we just saw a Junkrat shoot from here. So, or excuse me, let me make that more obvious. See a Junkrat shooting from there, so we should go for him right here. Instead, we go over here, and the bad part about this is we're using deflect very poorly right here. None of them can shoot, okay, so this guy shoots through you. The guy behind this person can just shoot through you, and you'll be deflecting some pellets if you deflect these shots. So the only reasonable thing you can deflect in this situation is a Moira Orb, a Symmetra Ball, or a Orisa Halt. Right here, just back up, which we do, but this is not effective right here. Right, so we want to back up, make the disengage a lot quicker. We back up all the way out here, and we're still in this Moira's line of sight. We want to be going down here, so then we can avoid death. And either way, and one way that we can avoid this situation is just go for the Junkrat over this side. Over on this side. over here. Now, if we do get in a situation like this, we want to break line of sight as quick as possible. Now, either that is taking a corner or dropping from high ground. We need to do that so then we can increase the amount of time we're active. And if you want to carry games, you don't want to take an immense amount of damage like this in a couple of seconds. Because then we have to back out and it's essentially you being dead. So we're going to die right here. And honestly, just use dash as quick as you can if you were going to go for something like that so you can get back to your team. But if you just dropped from high ground, this guy can heal you and this guy can protect you. Because they don't have as much high ground control as we do. The best things about Genji is blade and high ground control. So we're coming back from the fight. Now, one thing I do want to address here is that their team is going to be set up here most of the time. And our team is either going to be going through where you're going through right now, or they're going to go through the right side. Canvas is not working. Alright. They're going to be going through the right side, up top, and fighting and challenging their high ground up here. Hence, the enemy is going to rotate over here, and we want to adapt to that. And I notice a lot that you play very close to your team, when usually, as Genji, we want to be on the side. So I don't know what you were actually trying to accomplish here. If I could get some more context, which is like a bit of a downside to doing VOD reviews like this. If I had some context right here, then I would know why you're doing this, right? So we're going to be poking again, right? We're mainly, you right now, you're kind of playing a poke war, which you can't win because these guys do more damage from poke compared to you. So we want to go either down here towards bottom right, or we want to go and then go up here and then start shooting them from back here, then dash through them, and then break line of sight at this corner right here. Or we want to go on this high ground right here because we are out of the Moira's range. The Orisa can't do much to us. The Sim can't do much to us unless they want to use Teleporter, which is using a cooldown, which is very, very useful. And the only thing that can really kill you is the Ana. And we have Deflect. So we do technically address the Roadhog right here. We back up. Right. Okay, so right here. This is a good example of Genji play. Right. We punished this guy's mistake of being out in the open. Right. Which you were doing a couple deaths ago. So you want to be... You don't want to be making mistakes like that all the time, and you want more people. You want to punish people based off those mistakes, right? That guy got really greedy right there, and that was the perfect punish. And the reason we did that is because they were alone and they were out in the open, in our line of fire. That was a good kill right there, and now we're gonna be pushing up. Okay, so right here. I don't know why you kept pushing forward right there. One very poor thing you did right here was you again, so you got that kill because we used rule 1 of dash. But again, right here, you use dash for no reason, right? You kind of use dash to get damage, which you already have your Dragon Blade. And at this point, there's no reason to dash right here. You can't kill any of them, and none of them are going to use their cooldowns on you. They're just going to shoot you. Now, what's really funny is that the Ana does use their anti-nade on you, and the Roadhog tries to hook you right here. And the Junkrat also uses his bomb. So that was like 3 cooldowns. You also use deflect. Generally, you can't deflect these, but I don't think you were trying to deflect that. We did deflect the hook right here, but what is important is we got antied, and that is not good. right? Because if you're antied, you basically are dead. So at this point, if you're in a situation like this, hide behind cover. Always find cover, right? You kept moving back, and you don't take much notice of where your team is, which they're pushing up top here. If you actually went in a bit later, if you came from here and then wall climbed up and then started shooting them from up top here, and these guys came in at the same time, you wouldn't get bursted down so easily right here. So take note of that. Right. We always want to make our engages with our team and not alone. Because if we do it alone, then we're going to get popped. Like, hecking easily. We're going to go back. Now, right here, we're just poking again. We're poking again. Right? But most of this poke damage is completely meaningless. And sometimes at points like these, poke damage like this is completely useless. The main reason that we poke is to either build ultimate, which we already have, or distract them. Or what the heck? Or distract them. And our team isn't even here because they're all dead. So poking right now there's no use for it. Okay, so now we decide to push with our team. Again, you have more protection, but you're gonna be hit by a lot more spam because that's where most of their ammunition's going towards, and their cooldowns are going towards, like this nade right here. I mean, this is relatively okay. Only one thing is we would want to be on high ground because we want to be away from our team so then we don't take all that spam damage. Again, nanoed here, we dash up. Okay, so this blade was, I'm just going to put it to be blunt, was horrible, right? We slashed once, and we dashed at a Junkrat. So if we dash at a Junkrat, he is just going to bomb. And now we can't get to him. One thing right here is that we don't even take a note of where they are. When you get nanoed, you don't have like a moral contract to instantly dash up and blade so you can kill some people, right? You have some time to look around where people are. So right now we see a Roadhog and we see an Orisa right here. We dash up to this point right here, which doesn't give us any LOS at all, right? We can't see anything that's going on in this point. We turn around to this window, we pull blade, we get zapped by these two turrets now, which is going to slow us down. Being slowed down in a blade is probably the worst thing that can happen to you, because you can't get to people. Slash once, we dash. Make sure when you dash, you're actually going to kill people, right? You dash blindly right here because you thought that you could kill the Junkrat a lot easier, where in reality he just concussion mined away from you. Now he's all the way over here. Excuse me for this bad drawing. He's all the way over here, and the only reasonable target that we can actually get now is this Anna down here. Right here. Because the Roadhog has too much health, and we already just used our dash. And when we want to burst down tanks, we want access to that slash dash slash combo, which in this case would be over 400 damage. But we do not have access to that, so our main combo will be dashing to people and slashing them, or if we're close to them, then we slash dash them. If it's a 150 HP hero, we just slash them. And you waste some blade killing some turrets, and we only get one kill with that. Now, the reason that we only got one kill with that was because we didn't we didn't have any spatial awareness of where everyone was. If we knew where people were, like, if you ever have you ever thought, like, if you knew where everyone was and you were nanoblading, would you kill more people? Obviously, yes, you would. So we want to make those conditions right. One condition with Nanoblade is that we want LOS. We want to know where people are. We want line of sight of them. We want to see where these people are and where they are going. 2, we want to focus a target when we're nanoblading. And 3, we want to make quick kills. And a couple more like requisites is like they don't have sleep, they don't have any CCs, they are in an enclosed area where they can't run from. Like, those are perfect conditions for a huge nanoblade. But those 3 conditions right there, like knowing where the squishies are, more importantly, like knowing where those squishies are is going to make that blade way more successful. Now we're just going to clean up because we won this fight because we got 2 from the Deadeye and we got 1 from that Nanoblade. And yeah, we're going to win this fight. Clean up here. We keep pushing up. This is good. See, like, this is how we want to be playing, right? We want to be claiming space and pushing up when we are able to. We use deflect, we get the Symmetra, and that was a perfect use of your cooldowns. No cores there. Quarrels, excuse me. Keep moving up. Now, again, if our team is coming up here, which we can clearly see with this Zarya laser, they are. We want to be aware that there is a Junkrat back here who can spam us down. And we just popped deflect. So, I think you tried... I'm thinking you popped deflect because you were going to try and deflect a fire strike. You need to see the cooldown before it actually comes out, right? You had an actual intention behind it, but you didn't execute it correctly. And we always want to wait until they actually use the cooldown before we do anything. And unless it's like predictive plays like flashbang and Reaper shots and stuff like that, then that's when we want to predictively deflect. In cases like Reinhardt's Fire Strike, we can reactively do it. Same with Moira's Orb. And sometimes with Hook, because you can be fast enough. We shoot those turrets, we can get easier time. And at this point, you've lost 4 people. Instead, alright, so I just want to let this play out. You are 4 down right now. And we keep backing up. We grab a health pack, and now the Moira probably has Coalescence. What would probably be the most optimal play right here is instead of staggering our death, is to just die with our team, right? So we see our Reinhardt goes in right here. You get distracted by these turrets. But look at where your team is. Your team isn't going to be hit by all of this stuff over here, right? They're going to be hit by what's ever in this room. And if you were here at this point, you would have been able to help. But we had you in the back line, in your back line, mind you, shooting some turrets while your team was fighting an unwinnable frontline battle. Now we lose literally everything right here. So at this point, you have Bubble, just build as much Dragon Blade as you can. Because when you're running away, you're going to be focusing on surviving more or less than actually trying to build ult. And the Genji mindset is, either if I can't kill you, then I'm building Blade at least, so I can kill you later. When we're running away, we don't make an attempt to actually shoot at them, and the shots that we do shoot don't even hit. So, if we actually died up there, we would probably be at like 80%. Let's keep skipping ahead. So we're poking again, poking again. See, our Ana gets shot right here. And unless your team calls a dead push, we want to either back out or keep going in. Your team does not call a dead push, but again, you go with your team, you got hit by this guy's bomb, right? Did he intend to hit you with that? Probably not. So that's a positional error right there. We do play on the side of our team, which is good now. But, you know, you want to take more off angles, right? So let's just make a hypothetical right here. I'm going to use an example. Let's say their team is in this area, and they're shooting this way at your team, which is in this area, shooting back. Where do you want to be? You either want to be on an off angle, like this, shooting over here, or here, and then a flank would be back here, shooting right behind. So either take an off angle like this, or flank behind like this. Right now, in terms of your positioning, you're playing like here and here. And as Genji, we want to be taking as many off angles as we can, and in some cases, flank a lot. So we just took a Symmetra Orb at the face, and we are just calling a dead push. Right? We just want to back out at this point. Now, at this point, we do have heals, so we can live. Right here, this would be a good play, but that requires some mechanical skill, and also you're putting yourself in danger because you do not have dash. And if you don't have dash, then you can't use Rule 2, which you already used. Right now, you just want to back out, because the more damage you do to them, the more ult charge that this person can get. And we do not want that, because we want our blade to actually do something. So we fully back out here, and we are just going to position on high ground. So this is a good example of why Genji is so good, right? We are constantly taking this corner right here, and this hog can't do crap about us. We deflect that fire strike, that's nice. I don't know about this. Like, you probably didn't see the trap. But if you're playing against a Junkrat, you always want to be mindful of where traps could be. And it was not in your LOS at that point. I can tell that you weren't able to see it. And also because you tabbed right here, because you're just trying to check if we have Nanoblade and stuff like that. But if you're going to be pushing in a choke like this, you generally don't want to like press tab. You want to press tab when you are not fighting. That's why you get trapped right here. So we get nanoed, and we're going to blade again. So, again, we didn't really know where anyone was, so we just went for the nearest target, which was this Reinhardt. And you can't kill him without //. So now he's going to get away. And conveniently, this Symmetra was really close to us. We dash towards a Moira, we're not going to get the kill, so we need to just run away. If you dash towards a Moira, they're going to fade. If they don't have fade, then that's cool. But usually they're going to have fade, and they're just going to run away from you, making your Nanoblade completely useless. So let's run through that Nanoblade again. Okay, so coming in here, we get trapped, and then we get all that damage. Okay, so right here, we get nanoed. We have no LOS of where anyone is right here. We know that this guy is here, and from looking back, we know there's 2 people back here, and there's 1 person back here. You immediately pull blade, and now we're forced to look for someone, because we just pulled blade. Dashing towards a Reinhardt won't accomplish that, because most of the time he's just going to charge away from you, like how he does right here. Now we go towards the Symmetra. We get the kill, which is nice. And it could determine the fight right here, because you did get 2 picks right here, and the Rein is away from their team. But what is the good thing about Nanoblade is is that you can get so many kills in such a short amount of time that they can't win, right? Even if they're 2 down, they still have tanks and supports, right? The only, like, ways you can win is if you have tanks. If you have tanks, you can win, even if you don't have the other role, right? If we have tanks and damage, we can win. If we have tanks and supports, we can win. If we have supports and DPS, we cannot win. They have supports and tanks. Alright, and one last thing, if we dash towards a Moira, they are not going to die. We would rather just try and dash towards this Ana and hopefully kill them, but this wouldn't be a problem if we knew where everyone was, right? You're not morally obligated to pole blade the second you get nanoed. Even if you get nanoed, you just want to make sure you know where everyone is so then you can kill them. A good example of this is if we were on top of this high ground right here, and we jumped on top of these guys, and we pulled blade and killed these guys on here. Because even if the Moira uses Fade, we can still save dash so we can kill her. And then this Rhine on point, right here, we can take care of because we didn't go for him in the first place. Again, we want to take out all the squishies before we actually even consider taking out the tanks. And I believe you die to a Moira after this. Yeah, we're going to die to a Moira after this. And now I believe we lose the fight. So if that Nano Blade was huge, then we would have just won the fight outright. We would just win the fight. Alright, we're poking again here. We see a Symmetra. Good punish. Right. This Symmetra is very immobile. She can't move that quickly. And if she doesn't have her teleporter, she's an easy kill. So that was a good punish. Alright, you punished this Symmetra 3 times now, which is good. But what are we going to do after this? We go with our team, and we're going to start taking some spam, which we focus one of these turrets right here. We go through their line of fire. Like, their line of fire is, like, all over the place they're going. But their positioning is weird, but they're all shooting towards this one place. So you don't want to be there. We try to deflect the orb right here. If you're going to deflect the orb, just regular hop. You don't want to be too high or too low. You want to be just right. See this Mei coming towards you guys. You're all going to die now. And now we have to back out. So something we could have done was we could have actually just been up here as Genji. We could be up here, and we could be dealing with this guy who was actually on top of here before. He was up here. If we were here, if we were like up here in this area, he can't do crap to us. Same with this guy, because if he throws his hook at us, then we just back up. And we can shoot at these two. And like this guy can threaten us, this guy can't. If he starts shooting us, again, we just back up. Like I said before, we can just back up. And even if we do get shot, we are pulling attention away. We are doing what we want to do when we're poking. We are either building ult charge, or we're pulling attention away. If we accomplish any of those two things with poking, we are doing good. Right now, we're doing neither because they don't have to focus us since we are with our team, so they can just spam in this area. We do accomplish one of the things, which is doing some poke damage, but now we're going to lose the fight because we weren't doing much right here. Because we couldn't do much. We were in a bad position. Okay, let's keep moving. Now OT is activated. Do we get Symmetra? Symmetra's being a huge feeder right now. We dashed a point, that's fine. Just focus targets that we can kill. Right, dashing a Moira like this, you can't kill, right? Like, usually you won't be able to kill this Moira, which is not ideal, because they're gonna get the Mega right here, and now they're just sucking you up, and, like, it's not good. Like, you can't kill Moira as Genji, unless, like, you are, like, so many people up that, like, this Moira can't do anything. Right, good targets for us would be poking the Mei, or, in some cases, poking this Moira from afar. We do not want to be trying to, like, take this guy, engage this guy up close, or we're gonna die. Next, we see the Symmetra. See the Reinhardt. Shoot at him again. Get him. Nice. And we got point. Nice. Okay. So, a couple mistakes. Well, not really. In that last fight, we were just cleaning people up. But if we made that kind of push earlier, then that would have been great. Okay, so we're defending now. I'm just going to skip ahead. We take this position right here, which is great. Okay, so let's take a very quick look at our comps right now. Press tab again, please. Thank you. All right, so let's take a look at our comps. Right, we have a McCree for main damage. Right, you can clean up kills. You have an Anna, so you can play high grounds like this. And we also have a Baptiste for Immortality Field. We have Winston, and we have Zarya. So this is a very weird comp, but we're not going to worry about it for now. Just, this Zarya is most likely going to bubble this guy. Is going to bubble this guy. This guy is going to shoot people, and you will finish those people off. Then you finish these people off, and these guys are mostly going to heal you. This guy's going to heal these guys. That's what should happen in a comp like this. Now, we're going to be looking at our strengths. We have very good brawl potential with all three of these guys. We have very good dive potential with these three guys. You including the Winston. Now, we want to be working cooperatively with our Winston, which he is positioned right here. Let's take a note of that. Right, our Winston is positioned in this area, and we want to be engaging with him. Right, and that's another core mistake that we make here. If we're going to be playing with a Winston, then we want to play a lot more, like, of a team-based Genji than the solo Genji, like solo one-man army Genji before that we were playing. Because now we have something that can actually, protect us. Think of Winston and Genji as two separates, right? So he has tankiness and survivability, and you have damage and kill potential. If we now imagine that we Dragon Ball Z combine, now we're Winston Genji. We have both tankiness and survivability, and we have damage and kill potential. So let's see what you do here. Immediately, if you just dashed these guys, they'd all be dead. Instead, you kind of just meme around here, and we don't accomplish too much besides killing this Sigma. Now, it's nice, but it's not quick, right? The whole point of having a Winston and a Genji is that you get very quick kills. Emphasis on quick. You spend about 15 to 30 seconds trying to kill this one Sigma right here. And we finally get him. Now, again, you guys both you and Winston got one kill individually. But if you just dived those people that the Winston was killing, in the first place. So he's diving all of these people over here. If you just came down and helped them, this person would be dead. The Doomfist would be dead in here. And I think they had a Baptiste in there too. So all those 3 people would be dead. Right? And now, because this guy's over here, this Sigma is doing nothing. This Sigma down here... crap. This Sigma down here is doing nothing. Then we can take care of him after. So you want to play a lot more cooperatively, because now you have more survivability when you go in, and you bring a lot more damage, so then you can kill the people. Now we get 2 kills right here. Right, you get 2 kills, but they were both solo kills from you two. If we got 3 kills together, that is 1 more kill, and that's more potential that we can win this fight. And it wasn't urgent to actually get on point in the first place. So now we have to be stuck fighting this dude. And if we were fighting this dude with this dude over here, we would have a lot better of a time. Now, taking this 1v1 right here, we want to be aware of 2 things. Swings do 75 damage each, and if we get hit by like 2 of those, we're basically dead. We are at 15 HP, so if we take 1 of these, we're dead for sure. Now, I want to make sure you deflect right here, and you immediately try and wall climb, and that's why you died right here. If you're deflecting swings, you want to be facing the Rhine the entire time. Wait for 2 swings and then immediately wall climb, so then you won't die. Because then in a time like this, you're trying to just stall, because you already lost this fight. Let's skip ahead. And, like, we know these guys have taken this. Like, these guys have taken this point. So we just want to back out. And right here, we're poking again. And the enemy team's playing double shield right now. Now we're about to break one of the rules. We break rule 2. Right? We reposition on top of this high ground right here when we could have just wall climbed. Like, we take this high ground right here. But if we just wall climb and double jump, we would have accomplished the same thing without using an 8-second cooldown. And now we can't fight with this dude or Winston back there. Somewhere back there. I don't know. We poke from up here, but it's not going to do much, right? Because without that Winston, we can't kill anyone because we don't have any tankiness or survivability. We immediately dash, right? We bait out, so we use the theoretical 3rd rule. But rule 3 is only useful when you know you can kill them, or you're trying to kill, like, let's say a Tracer, right? To bait out recall, we use dash. We do not want to use dash to bait out a cooldown as dangerous as nade, because we'll die instantly. Right? We get hit with that nade, that's 60 damage. That is 60 damage, and we can't heal, so we're dead. Or is it 80? I can't remember. I think it's like 60 or 70. Anyways, yeah, we die. We broke rule 1. And we had the thought of using rule 3 right there. But like, where you are right now, you just need to focus on maintaining that rule 1 and rule 2. Rule 3 only comes when your mechanics are very good, and you can actually utilize that to your advantage. Okay. So we come up here. Right, and I wanted to, like, again, explain. If we fought with our Winston, we can get kills way, like, more reliably, right? Having 2 people trying to solo kill another 2 people is not as effective as 2 people trying to kill 1 person. It's going to be slower, and you're going to be wasting more resources trying to kill 2 people, where you could have killed 1 and then killed the other, right? in Overwatch, we sequentially kill people, right? Let's say we kill this dude, we kill this dude, we kill this dude, and we kill this dude. We don't try and kill all 4 at once unless we have Graviton and Dragon, or like old combos that can kill people in seconds. We want to, again, sequentially kill people. We get this person out, and then we kill this person right after, and then we focus this person, and then we focus this person. Your focus goes on a lot of people when you're playing Genji. When you play Genji specifically, like you as in the player in this video, you tend to focus one person only, and you don't focus what your team is focusing. If you focus what your teammates are killing, then you'll kill a lot more people, and you'll get a lot more kills way quicker. Those are like the core issues right here. We lose point right there, and I believe we lose one person, and we're just gonna get rolled in the last point. Now, I'm not gonna review the last point because it's like 20 seconds of gameplay, and it's more or less the same mistakes that you've been making this entire time. But if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed your review. Please give a like. Please review me as a coach. That would be greatly appreciated. If you don't want to, that's fine. That's completely fine. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, subscribe. Hit that bell notification if you want to see more videos in the future. And if you want to get coaching from me, I'm going to be putting my Discord link. I'm going to be putting my Discord in below, so then you can contact me for more VOD reviews. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.